body by before I get in that ring, because mentally I prepared myself for dying. I mean, it sounds crazy to you guys, but as a fighter where I grew up, you know, you get hit by crossing the street, so I mentally prepared myself. I might not come out the same after this fight, because I'm going there and giving everything I got. Everything I got. And you seen that tonight, no matter what he hit me with, I came forward because I know I had to prove myself not only to Brooklyn, but to the people, to the fans, to my son. So, I mean, it was beautiful. You know, thank God it worked out in my favor, but, you know, you never know when it's going to be your last one. You know?
Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves. Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves, man. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations.
Appreciate it, brother.
And, you know, in my opinion, you stole the show tonight. You know, you came in, you know, you talked a lot, you backed it up, you fought an exciting fight, you did what you said you was going to do, so I commend you for that.
Thanks, bro.
I seen the game plan, you came in looking to walk him down. You know, I know what you was trying to do. You was doing like a Winky Wright style defense. You was walking him down, looking to get him in the later rounds. But you was taking some big shots on the way in. Now, if you was to go against somebody like Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, you know, I don't know if that's the best approach without moving your head side to side.
For sure.
Let me know about that.
You're totally 100% right. But you gotta look at it from this aspect as well too. That's why I told people it's 11-month layoff. That's why I didn't say I'm going in and run and knock him out. I told him it's going to be a tough fight, but I'm prepared for either way he took it. And I told you from the jump, you know, Anthony Joshua fought Dylan White, and he looked like crap. You know, he didn't got the knockout. He got hit with some shots, got wobbled with that, folks. And he fought another American guy. He didn't look so good. He said, I'm not going to fight no more American guys. But when Charles Martin came up, he already took that advantage. You know what I mean? He told Charles Martin was soft. But like I said before, it's about improvement. It's 11-month layoff. I know that I had to, you know, it motivated me to get in shape and get right and just keep moving forward. You know, I know it wasn't going to be an easy fight. It wasn't the cleanest. But like my trainer Harry always said, I'd rather an ugly win than a good loss.
Now, also, would you like to talk about a little bit about that straight right hand to the body, right uppercut combination? We talked about that outside. That was beautiful. You look like a welterweight doing it. And you know, like, where did you pick that up?
Man, like I said before, man, just because I'm a heavyweight, I don't like watching this heavyweight fighters on YouTube or on TV, because, you know, a lot of heavyweights nowadays are just slow and just don't show anything nice. You know what I mean? I can do a lot more great things. And you're gonna see as fights progress and get harder. I'm gonna start turning out, do angle, I do all kind of crazy stuff. But I actually seen Floyd doing it, and I seen Adrian doing it, and I'm like, and I see one of my little homies in the gym, little B-Hop, and I see him doing it. And I'm like, I know I could do this for heavyweight, but let me practice. I got kept a couple times doing the damn thing. But I said, if I start doing it, I know they're gonna be a little scared. And I have a good stiff jab to the body, but I'm really trying it. But I call a little cramp in my leg. If you notice, I wasn't really getting low as I really wanted to and get the leverage on the body shots. But like I said, it's progress, man. It's boxing. You know, I've been doing it for so long, man. Like, I'm just gonna probably take off Sunday, Monday, and back and hitting the weights and get right back in the gym. And like I said, I might be a big guy, I might not be the most ripped, but I'm a gym rat, man. I've been doing this since I was 14, man. I mean, this is my life.
How you doing? Right here. Terrell, Fight View 360. Can you talk about the first? Congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot.
Can you talk about the politics of what this fight means, and if you get where I'm going with this, the heavyweight Game of Thrones thing going on right now?
You gotta understand. It took me, when I was younger in my career, I want to fight. But then, I was frustrated with boxing. But I took a step back and I started watching some of the other fighters in the game, and I learned that it's a business, and you gotta kind of position yourself in the right way. Even the guy that fought Charlo tonight, you know, he was mandatory for like 2 years. You know what I mean? He didn't get a shot, but he had to fight Charlo now. You know, who's another killer. You know, it's a little unfair to him if he had to sit down for so long. But you understand business. Sometimes it's not being mandatory. You know what I mean? It's about who can talk the most smack, backing up and sell some tickets and put butts in seats. And after I sit back and analyze my situation, I says, I gotta really turn up. You know what I mean? And it's not just in the gym turn up. I gotta turn up in the ring. I gotta talk some more crap. I gotta just be a monster. You know what I mean? So, like I said before, man, like, boxing is really a business, and that's why the 11-month layoff was a blessing too. Even though I didn't get to fight him, you know, me and my promoter were beefing a little bit. And I know he's up 16. I'm 16, so he might be Jewish, but it's like my brother. I be wanting to select him sometimes, but he's like my boy. Like, you know, we been through a lot. You know, my trainers have trained him, and we beef a lot. But you know what? Like I said before, you know, 11-month layoff. You know, I educated myself. You know, once your back is against the wall, you don't get frustrated, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful, but as a brother in America, sometimes I don't want to be labeled as, you know, the ignorant black guy or ignorant entertainer, ignorant fighter. You got to just sit back and analyze the situation and be like, you know what? What's the best move for me to make right now without getting mad? You know what I mean? And you know, Alvina, my publicist, I'm a branding manager, reached out to Salida, and we kind of got on the phone, man, and we just said, you know what? Okay, I forgive you, man. Let's figure this crap out. You know what I mean? And, you know, thank God we're here.
And and Joel formed a company called Big Baby Promotions, which is part of his career. And I think they're gonna get involved with other fighters and get involved with his shows.
Correct.
So that was a deal that we made. It's Leader Promotions, part of Big Baby Promotions.
Hey, you didn't see me yesterday. I was mad at him yesterday. Like, he owes me like a year's supply of hummus right now. So I'm letting you know right now, he owe me big time. You know what I mean? But
They didn't get it.
they didn't get that part. They didn't get it.
Big Baby, congratulations. You know,
What's up?
yeah, I wanted to had a great night tonight.
Thanks,
You
man.
know, good night tonight in Brooklyn. You already basically answered my question in regards to Salida Promotions, co-promotions, and Big Baby Promotions. Can you speak more as to what we can expect, as well as how soon we can, you know, possibly see you back in the ring?
No, we had, like I said before, it's so funny because we was hearing about fights in November, but honestly, my brain, the way I function, my brain is like, I don't even think about, I couldn't even tell you what I was going to do after the fight. Like, I mean, like, I wanted ice cream, you know what I mean? But I couldn't tell you because mentally, I kind of killed myself physically and mentally until after this fight. Like, there's nothing matters to me until I get drawn out the way. So, you know, we heard about November 4th in New York again on Deontay Wilder undercard for co-main event. So I think that will be next. I don't have any guarantees on that. But like I said, man, you know, I think a lot different than God. I think old school, man, like, it's do or die, man. So I didn't know what I was going to do, you know, until I got drawed out. So now it's kind of sinking in now that what's next? And it's ice cream's next.
I do want to say one thing. This is Boxing Center, Brooklyn Boxing. Did a great job in rejuvenating boxing here. You have Mike Tyson, you have Riddick Bowe. And Deontay Wilder, he's a heavyweight champion of the world, you obviously have to respect it. But for him to be the face of Brooklyn boxing, when you have a guy like Joel Miller, who lives down the block from the Barclays Center, and he grew up in Brooklyn. He fought in Brooklyn as an amateur, as a pro, and developed, you know, the way he talks and the way he promotes boxing. He's just he is the heir to the throne, the heavyweight throne, which belongs in Brooklyn, New York. And I think Joel's going to bring it back, whether it's to Deontay Wilder or anybody else.
Somebody can get beaten.
Jarrell, Chris Conn here with the Fight City. Congratulations on your big win.
Thank you.
You mentioned about the layoff. I know that you want big fights. Scott Coker and Lou DeBell talked about the talent exchange. We've all sent guys to one another. Would you do kickboxing? Would you do MMA if the right fight came along, like a Fedor, somebody that gives you that, you know, big money, big profile fight? If boxing's up, you know, on the fritz.
It is so funny because me and my cousin Nas was talking about that if I want to go back to kickboxing. And I said, you know what? I wanted to kind of prove to the media, the fans, and the sanctioned bodies that I'm serious about boxing, and I don't want to really flip-flop. I want to stick with one sport and master one sport again. But if an opportunity came up like how Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, and I'm world champion, there's a bunch of money on the table, you never know. You know, if it's the fight game, and like I said, I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? So people say I'm a kickboxer and I can't box. They learned tonight the boy can box. So, like I said, man, I like to fight. You know what I mean? It's part of who I am. So I can't never say never, but my goal right now, my main focus is on boxing and just putting Brooklyn on the map.
Big Baby.
Jerome Miller and Nick Chilarakis, Real Talk Boxing. Congratulations on the fight.
Thanks, man.
So we were talking about the 6th round before, and you were talking about your kickboxing drills as far as absorbing damage, working on your defense, letting the guy punch himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
Was part of that playing possible a little bit? Were you legitimately rocked during that?
No. Thank God, I was never really rocked. But like I told one of the guys in the back before, I think when Eddie was reporting, I said there was sometimes we kind of gotta let go and kind of just go with the movement, kind of take the shots. So there's times when I'm catching my wind, I kind of just go with the movement, kind of like, you know, whatever. And then as my stamina come back or I get my wind back, then I come back on full force. But thank God I was never really hurt by any shots. You know, I seen everything, but sometimes I couldn't react the way I wanted to. But like I said, it's Ring Rust, my first fight back, and I had a lot of fun, man. You know what I mean? I seen shots coming. I was like, okay, I got hit with that one. I got hit with that one. Okay, time to hit him back, you know? But it was fun, like I said, man. It's boxing, learning experience, 11 months off, so back to work.
Also, you're looking to load up on some big shots, but you're also keeping your punch output high.
Yeah.
As far as seeing opportunities, do you just look to put punches together, or you're looking to get one clean knockout shot?
And sometimes you try to go for one clean shots, but I noticed after about, I think I threw a couple wild shots, but my leg was like left behind. And I said, you know what, I don't want to get caught on nothing crazy. Let me just pity pat him a little bit and drop some bombs in there. And it worked out. Like I said, I tell guys, man, it takes me about 2 or 3 rounds to really adjust. I can adjust the guys pretty well for a big guy. And that's what it came down to, man. Just adjusting, like I said, mentally being a killer, but having fun at the same time, And once you're having fun and you're just looking and you'll see stuff, man, it'll come to you. No problem, bro.
You want to talk about Dylan White? Anybody ask you about that?
Yeah, nobody did ask me about Dylan White. He's so ugly. Dude is ugly. First of all, I'm trying to be nice right now. That fight with him and Chisora, he lost that fight. So, and then he tried to fight Michael Grant, and he's an older brother, not nowhere near his prime, and that fight didn't go through. And Michael Grant had a fight before that fell through because he wasn't the tip shot older guy. So I don't think he really want to fight me. I think he's looking for an easy fight. American Dude's Pro is his American debut. But Dylan White get the work. He get the work. Dylan White get smashed. I like my English muffins, and I got the toaster for it. So if he want it, we gonna cook him too. Ellie sat back reporting. I'm such a groupie, you don't understand. I'm a fighter, but I'm a groupie too. Like I see other fighters, I see Paulie like probably once a week. I see Paulie and I say, oh my God, it's Paulie. Like, you see me yesterday. I'm like, so, but y'all know. I'm a groupie of fighters, man. I grew. It don't matter. I probably when I'm big and famous, and making a ton of money, I'm still gonna see fighters coming up and just love them, man, because it's a dangerous sport, man.
Any further questions? Thank you.
That's it. Where's my ice cream, man? Somebody better have ice cream.